Okay, we've been introduced to rudimentary animation. I'm working in the test file. I suppose I no longer have to tell you to save your files under various numbers and names in whatever folder. I'll take off the training wheels and assume you may want to go ahead and do that yourself. Keep a chronology of what you've learned. I find it helpful to be able to quickly go back and, oh, how did I do that thing? Make a mask or whatever. And then you can have that somewhere by name in a file. So, we did a static pixel, right? And then we took that and did a basic animation where you're leaving trails, your snake. I called it Snake. I seem to remember in the early days the game was single player, and everywhere you went you left trails and you try not to run into yourself, right? And then later it became Tron, right, where it was two players and you try to box in your opponent. And then now the modern Snake, I guess, is where you start out as a single pixel and then you go around eating things, and each time you do, then it adds another pixel to your tail and you get longer and longer. Anyways, I digress. And then we did a mask, how to just cover up the trails with a single pixel over, right? We went and did some basic timing, and then we further refined that with a nested loop, so all good things to save by name. Next, I want to copy from the lessons folder our teletype into our working folder. I'll just click over here. We're good, or enter. There. So prints an H to the prints high. We don't need the increment part. I'm just going to go back to a number value here, and here, let's see, I'll just go with 7. Set text mode, like that. The teletype, I'm just going to call this down here before I call the interrupt. Don't need a color value. Just let it default. Good to go. Let me just go ahead and run that. Whoops. Why not? I need to go to NASM it. I got 2. Why do I have 2? Guess why? Because I did not clear the clear C or whatever first. Okay, I don't want to worry about that too much. I'll just go for now. Demo. Okay, so anyways, I got this character that we have written in here. Next, I would like to, you recall in, or maybe if you're following along with this course, where we wrote, we jumped to an explicit value in our program, right? I had you do it the hard way first, where we went straight to a number instead of the pansy way, where you create a name for it, a label, right? For a reason, so to familiarize you with the numbers. There we jump to, somewhere in our program. This time we want to take this value and store it to somewhere in memory, here or whatever. So the way I would like to do that first, I will define where we're beginning in memory, just to be explicit. And the way you do that is origin We'll go with 0x7C00. There, that specifies a segment of where the program is going to begin, in memory, right? Good to go. So then, now that that's defined, I know that I can move something into another place in memory, and the way you define that is inside the brackets. We'll make it a different place. Oh, interesting. It asked me, do I want to go here? Well, you can. I actually have seen examples. If I hit enter, it fills it in automatically. On a simple level, I could do that starting from here, and the program would run, and then it would start overwriting itself when you wrote things in there. So you don't want to do that too much, so we will instead put that a little later in the game, down here somewhere in memory. We're writing to RAM here, and of course we want to say what to write to RAM. Our value of 2. Splendid. Okay, so next, here, might as well just say write value to explicit memory location. Okay. Next, we'll retrieve that value out of memory again. I could write it into AX, but just to keep it short, we'll just go directly to the lower byte here, basically. So I don't need to type this again. I'm already doing this. So now I have this value here in an explicit location. I can just fetch it out of there by writing it into there. Yeah. Let's see if I have foretold an accurate future here. Save that. A look. 6 operation size not specified. Oh, of course, I have to move a byte. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, so there's Mr. Happy. Our program is running. So there, just to introduce you to memory, I've written it in written a byte explicitly with a value, fetched it out. And I know that this is not going to conflict with the program because I have specified. Now, you recall here, for every dollar you spend, right, the way that works, if I were to now take, where is it, here, AL equals dollar or whatever, this won't print out, of course, but, and just print out AL, the value of AL, it would tell me this, I'm not worried about that at this moment. And so $, there is this value plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as far as the program has, how many lines have progressed since the beginning of the program. So that, therefore, if I subtract this value from this value, it tells me how many lines are in my code at this point when the program is called. There, I've defined that a little more explicitly too. So there, yeah, I don't need to put a comment there saying origin of our code. There it is, origin, there, let me see, now that I've just be a glutton for punishment. Yeah, now that I put something in there, it no longer writes 2 characters, so that is good to go too. That was just a quick pencil and I panicked. Yeah, there you go. Writing a value into memory, and then you can do whatever, and then later go back and retrieve it. One more thing real quick I suppose I should add in there. Here, let me just, I put in the value 2, right, and we get our character. What if I actually wanted to print out the 2, right? As you recall, when I printed out all the characters, all of the ASCII characters, that it started with a couple of characters and then heart, spade, diamond, club, and then a bunch of non-printing characters, right? And then further down the line, there was your text and numbers and stuff, right? So meaning the actual number value, if we wanted to print it out, begins much later, So just for a quick trick, we know that the value of the character 0, well, we don't know the value for the character 0, do we? But what we can do, we know it's just a number, right? So what we can do, now that we have our character value in here, we want to convert it to a number. All we have to do is add to that 0, like that, and now it'll say beginning at this number, print out plus this, right? Hopefully that works. Let me just save that and let us have a look, shall we? Invalid 10. Whoops, I'm sorry. I add 0. I didn't say add 0 to what, which of course, add al. Yeah. Add to this, which value is stored in al, add the 0 there. I'm sorry. Trying to talk and type at the same time. There. So now it prints out the actual numerical value. Of course, that only works for single-digit numbers between 0 and 9, but that's just this nifty little quick trick if you want to start seeing the actual number, starting point. Nice.